radio station, and I am happy to be here with y'all. Tammy C at my side, Gerard Rowe on the other side of the glass. And yes, I'm happy. I'm excited about the day.
I'm excited.
I'm blessed to have it. And we don't have bright sunshine out there. It's cloudy.
But it's
But
breezy.
it is. It is. I mean, it's a decent kind of weather out there. And of course, we got the storm a coming. But how was your ride in?
It wasn't bad. Traffic was light. Pretty good ride in today.
Yeah. Well, I felt so good. I got out of the door a few minutes early, got in the car, sat there for a minute, drove on, and traffic wasn't bad at all.
Not at all.
And I was a little concerned about the weather this morning because I thought with the storm coming that it might be storming this morning.
Yes.
And that's not the case. However, we do need to be weather aware today, and we're going to get you some more information about that in just a couple of few minutes. But the big overview is that it's 81 degrees out there and cloudy, cloudy, cloudy,
Very
cloudy,
cloudy.
cloudy, cloudy now, cloudy later. We might have peaks of sunshine a little later, but we're going into the mid 80s and the high 80s. And there's going to be some showers, some sprinkles, or thunderstorms out there somewhere. And we're going to learn some more about that in just a couple of minutes or so. But if you haven't already prepared for the weather, no, we're not talking about a hurricane category 4, 3, 2, or even 1. But this is greater New Orleans, so we can have some pretty bad storms. And if you are not adequately prepared, you feel like I should have,
Yes.
And there are already some shelves where it's like, how come they don't have more water? Because you didn't get there. Because you didn't get there. Where's that tuna, those sardines? Well, you got the one with mustard and you don't like that. Well, you better take that one and then wipe it
Take
off.
what you can get at this point.
Wipe it off. Wipe it off. So, but it's also an extreme heat warning today. So interesting context for a cloudy, storm coming, heat warming. So got a lot going on weather-wise. So we will hear about that in a short minute or so. We've got a lot of news today. My goodness gracious. Twists and turns of all kinds. Yesterday, we have the ongoing drama with the governor of the state of Louisiana, Jeff Landry, the Attorney General, Liz Murrow, the mayor of the city of New Orleans, the district attorney, Jason Williams, the several of the city council members, and yesterday there was pretty darn big development.
A big development.
Pretty darn big development because Mayor Helena Moreno, several city council members asked that the charges against the AG be dropped. Dropped. Like,
surprising.
right. It's like, wait a minute, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is a switch.
Definitely
yeah.
a switch.
So we got to talk about that some more and find out more about that. And I'm sure some of you all will want to weigh in about that. So let's go ahead and get that talk line number out there, Tammy C, so that people know what number to call.
Give us a call at 504-582-9422.
All right. Now we're going to go to the talk line. We've got our friend Damon Singleton on the line. Good morning. You're on with Will Sutton and Tammy C. How are you, Damon?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Well, every day is a weather day, but we got a little different kind of weather day looking at now. And I know you've been monitoring this over the last few days, but yesterday and last night seem to have some different kind of developments and things we need to know as we go about our day and our night today. How's it looking out there with Bertha?
It's actually looking pretty good. You know, the wind shear is having the effects that we pretty much thought it would have on this storm. Yesterday it had 60-mile-per-hour winds. This morning it's got 50-mile-per-hour winds. It's about looks like about 45 miles northeast of the mouth of the Mississippi. So it's getting closer and closer. You're probably going to notice the winds picking up throughout the morning and the afternoon. And it still looks like it's probably going to make landfall in Plaquemines Parish maybe around 1 p.m. this afternoon. So no huge impacts for us right now. We're going to have some rain bands and some stronger winds. But the worst of the storm is going to be affecting the coastline, in parts of Lower Jefferson, Lower Lafourche, Terrebonne Parish, and Plaquemines Parish.
So are we going to get by without using our storm supplies today?
I think for the most part that's going to be the case. Yeah.
Okay.
Now there's going to be some rainfall and some thunderstorm activity kind of on and off throughout the day, and the cloud the cloud cover is going to increase as we go through the morning and into the afternoon. But it should the rain and the storms that do develop unless they start training, they should kind of move through pretty quickly.
So I'm not as talented or expert as you are, but based on what I see, it looks like lots of clouds, a little sun, very limited precipitation. So we may not need rain umbrellas much of today.
A lot of people aren't going to see any rain at all.
Yeah.
I think we're all going to feel the gusty winds. But the rain is, this thing isn't creating a lot of rainfall right now. The worst of the rainfall is being displaced to the south into the Gulf of Mexico, which is what we were saying yesterday. And that's going to continue as long as the wind shear continues.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. I know you got a full day ahead monitoring Bertha and other such things. People want to follow you and find out more. Where can they find you?
Yeah, NOLA.com, NOLA News. Check me out on Wake Up NOLA every morning. And, of course, I write the forecast for the Times-Picayune for the paper every morning, too.
All right. Very good. We still have a print publication.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
All right. All right. Thank you,
All right.
Damon. Lord's blessings. Have a fabulous day, sir.
Thank you, man. You too.
All right. Very good. All right. There you have it from ace meteorologist Damon Singleton. Looks like we're going to miss this bullet. I would suggest that you go ahead and get those supplies if you haven't already, because always better to stock up and have the things on the shelf or in the corner, wherever you put those things for yourself and your family.
Always better to be prepared.
Yeah, have them available and ready to go. Before we got Damon on, we were talking about what the heck happened, because we've had drama over the last couple of weeks with Jeff Landry, Attorney General Liz Murrow, City Council, District Attorney Jason Williams, all of this going back in part to the legislature and the governor getting rid of the criminal court clerk position that Calvin Duncan rightly won with 68% of the vote. And then they eliminated it. Even though somebody had been elected to the position, they merged that with Chelsea Napoleon's seat, the civil clerk row. The mayor and several city council members took offense to that and took actions to see that was turned over. The AG did not like that and wrote letters that some, including me, found threatening, to say, if you don't retreat and turn this around, then I will come after you in your offices and you could be replaced by the governor. Meanwhile, there were lawsuits filed one way or another. There were allegations and social media fights. And then there was the indictment of the Attorney General.
Yes.
By a grand jury. Highly unusual.
Highly unusual, but quite interesting.
Quite interesting, absolutely. And So the mayor, I'm sorry, the governor got into when he was talking about the data centers and the big growth of data centers a bit ago. He said New Orleans think they're so special.
We are
Well,
special.
we are special, but he said they think they're so special. Well, it's not going to be that way anymore, is what he said. So goes New Orleans. So goes the state of Louisiana. He said that's over. So goes Louisiana. So goes New Orleans. So the governor said that's the way it's going to be. The mayor extended an olive branch and said, enough of this. We should sit down and talk.
Talking would be good.
Best I can tell, there hasn't been any sit down. Now, maybe they did sit down.
Maybe.
Maybe they did a Zoom. Maybe they met for lunch in Baton Rouge or dinner in New Orleans. Maybe they stopped at a restaurant along I-10.
All these great possibilities.
Any of that could have happened, but we don't know about it.
Right. We don't know.
So all we have is what we know to go on. And it seems the mayor said, I'm not backing down.
That was the last thing I heard.
It seems the governor said, I'm not backing down. And it seems other people said, we don't know about backing down, but what we do know is what's best for New Orleans and what's best for Louisiana is that y'all get out of the snit and move things forward.
Yes, we need things to move forward here.
And I know I'm like repeating some of this stuff, like, almost every day, because I just want to remind you about some of the things that happened that went into this. And so yesterday, the mayor and several city council members asked the special prosecutors, so this is the former Judge Lori White, who was appointed by criminal court Judge Leon Roche to oversee a grand jury that decided to indict the AG. Well, that set off the AG and that set off the governor, and they got really, really pissed. And anyway, the mayor and several city council members said yesterday in letters to the special prosecutor that we suggest that you dismiss the charges. We suggest that you dismiss the charges.
So now the ball is in White's court.
It is. So, in the letter that the mayor provided, it said, quote, the request is not driven by fear, politics, or personal interest. It is driven by our belief that the public interest is now better served by moving forward rather than prolonging litigation, close quote. Okay. So, I've been in lots of relationships. My most special one is to my wife.
That's good. Glad to hear that one.
Other than the Lord.
Yeah, absolutely.
And been together for so long, let me just say that it always hasn't been easy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's times when one person or the other hurts somebody.
It happens.
And at some point, somebody has to say, I love you more than that. I'm sorry I hurt you. What can I do about it? And then do something about it.
Yes, and move forward.
I am not suggesting that these people love each other. I don't think that's what we.
No,
I don't think that's what we have going on here at all. But I do think that what we have is a soiled, tattered, torn, bloodied relationship that needs to be healed.
Yes, some healing needs to happen.
And the governor said, I'm not going to bow down. The mayor said, I'm not going to bow down. Lots of folks out here on social media and elsewhere saying, woo!
Where's the popcorn?
Yeah, buddy, we got a show going on here. We got some drama. I'm going to take it back to me. Nobody else. Back to me.
Okay.
I work to be the best husband I can. But when I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, sometimes I don't feel I'm wrong.
That part.
It's like, I'm really not wrong. I'm really, really not wrong. I don't understand how you can see that I'm wrong. I am not wrong. But this has to end.
Because there are things that are more important.
This has to end. And so, if I need to go off to the corner and think, I need to go off to the bedside and pray,
Mm-hmm.
if I need to go take a walk, if I need to go get a drink of water and then it turns out to be a gallon of water, I need to do something to begin to repair, especially if it's going on for more than a bit. So that's what I think I'm seeing with these relationships here. And for the sake of New Orleans and for the sake of Louisiana, I hope we can find ways to move forward.
Yes.
And again, I'm going to use myself as an example. Note, I am not talking about my wife. I'm talking about me.
I love that.
Okay,
That's very good.
I am talking about me. There are times when I need to learn from what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I need to keep that in mind when that kind of thing comes up again. It does not mean that I become her and she becomes me.
Right.
We are individuals who decided to be together. And if you want to look at it, God put us together, and so we don't have any business with trying to tear it up because that's what He decided to do.
Yes.
But there are times when I have to say, okay, how can I grow from this and still have differences of opinion?
Still be individuals, but together.
Still have differences of opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, we have folks with some very serious differences of opinion.
Yes.
Philosophically, politically, personal style, even on social media.
Yes.
And we have seen, some would say, the best and the worst of some of that.
That's a good description.
And so here we are. And believe me, it's not over. It is not over because the special prosecutor has a choice or some choices to make.
Yes.
And so everybody's clear. The mayor and the 5 city council members that the AG, I'm going to use the word, threatened, asked that the charges be dropped. The DA did not.
Mm-hmm.
He did not ask that the charges be dropped. What he asked was that the special prosecutor proceed with caution.
Wow.
That she consider the distractions and take these things into account as she moves forward. So, again, relationships. I'm going to use me. We have a son. He's full-grown man now, but when he was younger,
Hmm.
sometimes the discipline was in different ways, and sometimes the discipline would be, I think you might want to consider your actions. I'm not putting you in timeout. I'm not whipping your butt. I'm not taking your license, but you might want to think about this.
Give it some thought.
Yeah. So, just a few thoughts from Will Sutton
Good. I think they were great thoughts. I love this.
about what is going on, and we're going to have more about this subject and so much more on this show. We're going to go to break, Tammy C. and I, because we're going to have, I want y'all to stay tuned because we're going to have our friends from Inspire NOLA coming up. We're going to have Sosie Kasakov from the Times-Picayune, who's been covering this drama. She's going to be coming up. And you really want to stay tuned for this because coming up after the break is none other than General Honore
Yes.
right here at WBOK
Love him.
12:30 a.m. in the house. Not in the studio yet, but I saw him. He's in the building. He's coming on in just a couple of minutes. It's 7:22 a.m. If you got somewhere to be at 7:25, you got 3 minutes. You got a little bit more time. You got to be there at 7:30. Tammy C, what's that talk line number? Because I know people are going to want to talk to him.
Yes, 504-587-9422.
This is WBOK 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about
All day long.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Kubel, and here are your Wednesday morning headlines. All eyes this morning are on the tropics as we brace for the arrival of Tropical Storm Bertha. The storm is expected to make landfall sometime today, which means that we could be getting some heavy wind and rain as it passes through. So today, Governor Jeff Landry will discuss Tropical Storm Bertha at a news conference. It is happening at the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness in Baton Rouge at 2 p.m. It comes as GOSEP begins 24-hour operations in the State Emergency Operations Center. GOSEP says it has begun coordination calls with parish emergency directors and is ready to respond. Meantime, several New Orleans schools are transitioning to remote learning today. That includes Southern University New Orleans, LSU New Orleans, and Loyola University. And that is a look for you at your
Late nights are made for
Wednesday
chillin',
headlines.
and you can do just that every Sunday night at 10 p.m. as DJ Wick brings you The Love Zone. It's the perfect way to top off your weekend with your favorite old and new school ballads. So sit back, relax, and let DJ Wick take you to the on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Comparing the cost of will, successions, and trusts.
A will might only be a few $100s, but your family could end up paying more in legal fees.
Trust costs more upfront, but saves time, stress, and potentially thousands.
Think of it as paying a little now to avoid a big bill later. Smart planning means big savings for your family. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called, and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing, and now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-311-5977. That's 800-311-5977. 800-311-5977.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
This is Andronika Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Climate Hope NOLA presents this month's climate keyword, adaptation. Climate adaptation means preparing our communities for stronger storms, hotter days, flooding, and rising water. That means planting trees, restoring wetlands, protecting homes, and helping families recover stronger after disasters. In New Orleans, resilience is part of who we are and how we survive. Learn more, stay informed, and take action with Climate Hope NOLA. Visit Team Hope NOLA on Instagram to learn more.
Good morning, wake up.
The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton, and in with me is Tammy C.
Hello, everybody.
All right. Well, we got some time talking about the ongoing drama. Looks like there's a effort at peace talks.
I love it.
But we'll see what our version looks like in the coming days as Special Prosecutor Lori White makes whatever decision or decisions she's going to make, and we'll get back to that a bit later in the show as well. But meanwhile, we have got none other than General Honore here in the studio, live and in person. Good morning, General. How are you, sir?
Good morning, New Orleans.
All right. Well, I was talking to the General off air, and I have to say I was surprised. I asked the General when's the last time he'd been at WBOK. What did you say?
The last time I was invited, maybe 4 years ago.
It was like, oh, my. So the General was last at WBOK when we were at the Gentilly location over near the fairgrounds, and hasn't been to the wonderful Xavier University location here at the station. So welcome back to WBOK.
Well, I knew it was going to be a good day when I saw I was coming to Xavier University.
Yeah, right.
On Norman Francis Boulevard. That's pretty good.
Yes.
All right. Well, I know we've got limited time because I know you're going to see your friends at the vet later on today, something that you do on a regular basis. You might be retired, but you always care about the service members and vets.
Well, I'm retired, but I ain't tired.
No.
Yeah, right. Well, we have last couple of days been watching Bertha, and it looks like we're going to miss the brunt of Bertha. But if we look to last month, Arthur was pretty bad. Wasn't a hurricane, but it was pretty bad. And I know one of the things that you stay on top of, and frankly, you're known for, is dealing with storms. So let's get some of your insights about where we are, how we might be thinking about this storm season.
Well, even though the National Weather Service has said this may be a low frequency hurricane season, and that don't mean jack squat. You still got to be ready because all it takes is one.
That's all.
Hurricane Andrew, one of the most destructive hurricanes we had, come ashore in a low density year. All it takes is one. So you got to be prepared. It's a part of our culture, by and large, to talk about hurricanes. It comes up, you go around town and sit at a restaurant, and somebody says, you hear the word hurricane, and it's a point of reference in our lives. But this time of year, it's time to be prepared. If you hadn't done so, it's time to do it. And what I encourage people throughout the region, particularly in New Orleans, as we go toward hurricane and one comes, and there's one on the way, develop a plan now to make sure everybody on your street has a ride if there's an evacuation. And the reason for that, my observation in the Katrina recovery, of the 1,400 or so people, and whatever that number people mark on, the majority of the people we found that died due to Katrina were home alone. They were elderly, disabled, and poor, in some cases all three. But they were home alone, a lot of them on their couch or in their bed. There was an assumption that somebody was going to get Miss Thibodeau out, and nobody did. There was an assumption that the government will provide transportation if you need it. And looking back, in some cases, I heard stories of government transportation where an ambulance went to get people, and the elderly had a dog or a cat, and they wouldn't let them in the ambulance because it was against the law to move an animal in the ambulance with the patient. So much of that's been corrected. The New Orleans, the city has a good evacuation plan, but the government isn't good enough to do this. I'm going to say this louder. The government is not good enough to do this. It ain't big enough. It's not connected enough to ensure everybody on the street, those that need a ride, will get a ride. So I encourage people on your street, get the grill out, have a block party. We like to party in New Orleans, make it a party, and said, okay, if we have to evacuate, who's going to take out Mr. Jones, Ms. Thibodeau, Ms. Gauthier to clear the street? Because the people that can move will move to high ground. We saw that during Katrina, and we saw that during Ida. People will move to high ground. The people that can't are the ones who end up being the biggest casualties of a flood because they have no capacity to get moved to high ground. So evacuation, get it done. We've had both Hurricane Katrina and Ida and Gustav, all of them came toward the end of the month.
Yes.
And when they tell you evacuate, it sounds simple. If you got a car, you got a job, you got a credit card, you can call to Memphis and get your hotel, or you go couch surf with a friend up in Monroe. Again, I don't know why the hell you want to go to Monroe, but you go somewhere. You got to go somewhere.
I got friends in Washington.
My family's from there.
You got to go someplace.
Yeah, I understand. Arkansas.
But I grew up in Punkapi Parish, and my relatives were in the 7th Ward, and I can remember more than once when the hurricanes come, they would come to what they call the country out in Punkapi Parish, and they'd come spend a few days. Then the men would go back, make sure the house was cut, and then they'd come back and get the family and back in the house. That was a normal hurricane response. But they would come up to Punkapi Parish.
I heard you speak at the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina last year. I wanted to, and you mentioned something about the infrastructure in this area. Have we improved there in preparation for hurricanes?
Well, we have a the flood protection system. It's about a $14 billion project that's been installed, and then there's work to do some improvement between here and LaPlace, because what we saw during Ida and a couple other events, when the storm come at a certain angle, it pushed the water into Lake Pontchartrain. Mm-hmm. We're somewhat protected to that to a certain level of surge. But there's the thing about levees that folks and protection walls people need to understand. There was some use a point of reference of effects of a Category 3 storm. But you can put a 25-foot levee in. If you get a 26-foot surge, you can flood again.
Yes.
And I remember during the beginning of Gustav, I was out in Ninth Ward, and they had that T-wall. And I saw with my own eyes that water was tipping over that T-wall.
Wow.
So we're always at a danger of flooding in the city. So when the authorities say evacuate. And those that can should leave early.
The earlier
Don't
the
wait
better.
till the last minute. We don't want to go back through the drama we had on pre-Katrina when the mayor was calling for evacuation on Friday, and the school board decided to have school that day because the Saints had a game that night. We got to stop doing stupid.
Yeah.
That was a stupid move.
Yeah.
And so we need to call emergency operations earlier, because when the parish president or mayor does that, they give them the authority to direct all entities inside the parish. That didn't happen, and the Saints had the game, and then we had a big flush on Saturday and Sunday to try to get people out of town. And we had an 80% evacuation. That's one of the highest you're going to find anywhere in the country, 80% evacuation. It's the 20% that didn't evacuate that we saw and many people experienced at the Superdome, on the interstate, and at the convention center. It was a horrible experience for those people, but it could happen again, so evacuation is key.
Well, I appreciate what you said about pulling out the grill and gathering the neighbors and talking about who's going to move this one and that one, because Katrina was 20 years ago. We've had other major storms since then. And in that time, my dad has aged. So he's 95 and a half now.
Yeah.
Moving Dad for Hurricane Katrina was different than if we hadn't moved Dad now.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He has different needs. He has a different lifestyle. He's moving slower.
Mm-hmm.
Need a little help with the walker.
Mm-hmm.
There are things that need to go with him. As opposed to when he's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago, 5 years ago. So that's a good reminder about not just you, but some of the other people you loved in your family, friends, neighbors.
Yeah. Well, the academics and the preparedness folks said have a plan. Louisiana have a plan, and we got NOLA ready. And they'll all say have an evacuation plan. And I think some data show the majority of people who evacuate, they go couch surf.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Friend, family, fraternity, friends. Because let's face it, evacuation is expensive. A day in a hotel could cost you as much as you spend for your life subsistence for a week. A week in the hotel will cost you a month. And we got provisions now, if you've been ordered to evacuate, where you get some reimbursement, but you never really recover everything. But work with family, friends, and relatives and reserve your couch someplace, because what you need to do is just get out the weather. Move away, have your, I've been advocating for years that FEMA pre-register people in the frequent hurricane zones. They haven't adopted that, but I think if we keep reminding folks that it's easier for people to register today for hurricane season And then that you got your insurance policy. You got your true of your accounts. You got your deed to your house or proof that you're living in ed property and you are the occupant and you're eligible for FEMA recovery. Why not pre-register people?
Right.
Because the downside, you end up Monroe in a gym with weak Wi-Fi. They say, okay, register for FEMA. So you try to register on your iPhone or you get on your laptop and you try to register. Okay, we need a copy of your marriage certificate.
Yeah, that's back at home.
We need, or the insurance company will say, who are you? Will Sutton. I've been paying you for 30 years for insurance. Well, we need your policy number. How many people carry their policy number?
Right.
Exactly.
Now, there are methods of storing all that in a thumb drive, but I'm just talking about normal folks, the boomers like me. It's hard for us to pull all that together. So, and again, I heard horror stories from people after Katrina and Rita who spent weeks because the insurance companies said, you got to find your policy number. Now, you pay them every month, but all of a sudden, they can't find your policy number.
Right.
Well, we got a phone call. We've got Don on the line. You're on with Will Sutton, Tammy C., and, of course, the General. Good morning, Don.
Ted Hunt? Yes, sir. Good morning. 2 quick questions, General. Thank you for everything, especially post-retirement. But 2 questions. The importance of ROTC, especially at HBCUs, they're not just exclusive HBCUs. Just look at Texas A&M. But the importance of ROTC programs at HBCUs. And here's a sports question for you as it relates to Pro Football Hall of Fame. What can you do to have a conversation about those who are of the Pro Football Hall of Fame selection committee to induct Brian Mitchell, the son of an Army sergeant, a military brat himself, who had an exclusive NFL career? What can you do to get Brian Mitchell in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, sir? Thank you.
All right, Don.
I think that's a good advocate.
We'll
You've made one step by announcing that, and I hope people who have some agency in that space can affect that. And I do agree, ROTC, Reserve Officer Training Program, is a great program, and it's been either eliminated or degraded in many of our HBCUs. It comes down to numbers, and people are using the business model. How many are you graduating? And that's a tough sell in certain markets. I'm proud of, I came out of Southern University in 1971, and where we are today is the Southern program is still alive, but it's going to be subordinate to the LSU program. We have students right here at Xavier that's in ROTC, but they go to Tulane for ROTC. So it's part of a business model. And, oh, by the way, we don't need as many lieutenants now. So
that was a bigger thing. That was a big draw for ROTC.
Oh, absolutely. And it's still a big draw. There's still some shortages in our National Guard and our Reserve Force, but they are working hard to try to sustain as many of the programs as they can. And it's unfortunate the bigger programs with the most graduates get the most resources. And if you've got an objective of 12 in your ROTC program and you're getting 5 or 6 or 3 or 4, and when the efficiency managers come around, okay, you can keep your program, but you're not going to be a base school. You're going to be associated with another school. So our people still have an opportunity to participate. It's just a subordinate brand to one of the big flagship schools. The bigger schools are going to run the program, and the other schools like Southwestern and Xavier and others will be subordinate to a bigger school.
So I want to switch gears on you and talk about something that I think is very important. I'm not sure enough people have been paying attention to it. and that is the Supreme Court decision about temporary protection status.
Yeah.
TPS.
Yeah.
So, with your background and all, I mean, you're well aware of immigration, people's movement from other countries into ours, our help diplomatically in other countries, across seas, Caribbean, and of course the Supreme Court's ruling, as I understand it, basically means that Homeland Security can decide to end the program, end parts of the program, and right now we have about 300 to 350,000 Haitians who have been on TPS, who now, effective July 25th, will no longer have that protection.
Mm-hmm.
There are also about 6,000 Syrians or so, and then others are like on that list and probably coming.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on why TPS has been important and what this really means?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I have a lot of relationship to the Haiti issue. We meet 3 nights a week to try, and I advise the Haiti diaspora in the United States on trying to come to a resolution on the issues in Haiti. One of the primary is security, to establish security so the sovereign nation can defend itself, rebuild its army, and rebuild its police force, and to encourage the State Department, and along with the UN and partner, the OAS and CARICOM, which is a regional economic and security agreements in the Caribbean, to try and suppress the gangs that have basically taken over Port-au-Prince, where the majority of the people in Haiti live, larger part of the population. So TPS, we've got people in TPS status in the U.S., many of them dozen years, 15, 20 years. That wasn't the original intent of TPS. But the reason they hadn't necessarily gone back is because the government in Haiti is totally not stable. In and around Port-au-Prince, the gang control most of the roads. The Port-au-Prince airport has been closed now, I'd say, estimate over a year. So how are we going to send people back into an environment, literally a war zone? Now, we do have a commitment from the UN in Haiti specifically to provide a gang suppression task force. You remember that weak action by President Biden and his crew, Tony Blinken, and that crew out of Washington, to get the Kenyans to go in. It wasn't properly resourced. It wasn't big enough. And the U.S. has something called the Leahy Law that prevent the U.S. from providing weapons to forces that have not been vetted properly for violating human rights. Well, okay, well, you got the law, but it can be wavered in the case of Haiti. When you go back to when things with Papa Doc and all that crew had the gendarmerie running around killing people, that wouldn't have been a good time to give Haitian government light armored vehicles, machine guns, and drones. But that's not the case. All those people are going out of the government now. Haiti has struggled because they've not gotten the support they need from the international community and from U.S. And some people say, well, man, I've been hearing about Haiti. The earthquake really tore Haiti up, and it never recovered.
2010.
Because our president, who was that, 44?
Mm-hmm. I believe that's right.
Yeah, 44, we're going to take care of Haiti. We will take care of Haiti. Didn't do jack. Didn't do jack. We had to ship off the coast for 3 days, and they wouldn't take patients because the State Department under Ms. Clinton said, well, the UN haven't set the protocols to evacuate Haitians. Now, whoever come up with some jack stuff like that? I was very disappointed in that administration, how they handled Haiti. And he didn't go to Haiti. You with me? Didn't go to Haiti. Went to some other places down there, didn't go to Haiti. and they never fully recovered. And democracy is a hard thing to maintain. We see that right now in our own country. And too many of the people have gone into government in Haiti have gone into it from the economic development standpoint. Get in the government, get you a job, and find how you can become rich with your mansion in Miami and your people back home suffering. The Haitian people are very humble, hardworking people. We wouldn't have had New Orleans without Haiti, as we know it today. We wouldn't have been a state in the time we became a state without the infusion of Haitians. And there's a lot of Haitian descendants right here in the city of New Orleans and in the South Louisiana.
Thousands.
They paid a big contribution. So back to TPS, if you look at the face value of why we're doing, maybe it's time to end that. But in return, those TPS, those people that came here from Haiti, they're working. Many of them in the healthcare industry, they're in industry, they work. Because to them, working is a blessing.
Yes.
And it's an opportunity. By and large, they become a part of the economy. Many of them, they pay Social Security, they pay tax. They're part of the economy. They're part of the community. We got grandchildren here now that parents came on TPS.
And they had nothing to do with it.
Had nothing to do with this. At the same time, we got a government that says they will bring white South Africans in because they're not being treated well in South Africa. And all that's been debunked. So it's playing night and day what's going on, and that this administration has really taken a hard charge on black and brown people for deportation. And they've got the right to do it now because our friend Clarence Thomas up there on the Supreme Court and others went along with this idea of ending TPS.
Yeah.
Wow. We're going to switch gears just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Wanted to get an update. I worked at SUNO a while ago.
Yeah.
And at that time, I worked a lot with the students from the Honore Center. In fact, I ran into one of the graduates the other day at the grocery store who's doing real well teaching. So I just wanted to get an update from you about what's going on over at the Honore Center.
Well, it's. I'm glad you asked. We're bringing in a new team. Each year we intake anywhere from 3 to 5 students, and that become a cohort till we get them through the process. And it's been a successful program. It hadn't grown at the pace I want and others would like to see, but these young men are doing good. They become excellent teachers. We get good feedback. They participate in the community. They participate in everything that's going on at SUNO. And under Dr. Marquis Phillips, they're doing a great job. As always, we're in the fundraising cycle because much of the money that goes toward the Honore Center is through philanthropic work. We do get, with the help of Senator Duplessis, get a little stipend every year from the state. That's a big help, and thanks to the state of Louisiana taxpayers for helping with that. But we know the work we're doing is good because the feedback we get from the school where these young men go teach, there is a absence of men in the classroom.
Yes.
Of all race and ethnicity, and particularly African-American men. We know it makes a difference by all studies and reports, and we're trying to help and get more of them in the classroom. There's thoughts and discussions of expansion to the Baton Rouge campus, but we got to grow into that. And we're proud of the product we're putting out, and we could do more if we had more help. But we're in a very competitive time now in the philanthropic side because so many of the grants that were available have dried up. And the political influence on big corporations to sponsor projects like this has become harder and harder. So, but if the people of Louisiana wanted to grow, we can do that too. And we just need to get the message out. I think more people hear about what we're doing and the impact we're having in the community will continue to get support. And thanks for that question. And I'm really proud of the Honorary Center. And it's a challenge because it got my name on it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think sometimes that's a blessing, and it's but I'm proud to be associated with the institution.
All right, I know you got to go, but before we get you get out of here, got to ask you about the ongoing drama between Baton Rouge and New Orleans with the governor, the attorney general, the mayor, city council, the district attorney. You're well noted for your leadership, well noted for diplomacy when it's time for diplomacy, well known for strategic approaches and for mending fences along the way with parties that don't seem to be able to work together. Yesterday, the mayor, several city council members suggested that the charges be dropped against the attorney general based on the grand jury's indictment of her. The district attorney didn't say drop the charges, but suggested proceeding with caution. The governor has said New Orleans is not as special as it used to be. There's a lot of drama, a lot of words back and forth over the last couple of weeks. What's your advice and counsel to these leaders so we can move forward?
Well, stop driving the bus looking in the rearview mirror. Look to the future. The mutual language going back on social media. This has been the history of New Orleans. The history of New Orleans is this tug of war between the city and the state. If this had happened 100 years ago, or even 50 years ago, or now 25 years ago, it would be normal business. You know, a disagreement between the mayor of New Orleans and the governor. But the fact that it's associated now with the influence of social media is instant. And most senior politicians at that level have a rapid response team. And they've learned that from watching the White House and watching politicians in New York. The rapid response team can come out with some great one-liners. But once that gets written down, again, if it happened 25 years ago, it'd be normal business. There's always a tension between that I can go back in history and have read about between the city of New Orleans and the state of Louisiana. And the port, the impact that it's had, the tourist industry. You know, before we were a tourist city, we were a port city. And then somebody decided they could build a ship cheaper in South Korea. Then somebody decided, hey, we could go to mechanized ports as opposed to longshoremen. I had an uncle that was a longshoreman, get a new car every 2 years, new suit every Christmas, black Chevrolet. I can tell you what it looked like, kind of a turtleback thing, and like a 2 or 3 version. We come up to Punkapi Parish at Christmas, new suit on. He was a union longshoreman. His kids went to a good Catholic school. They had a nice double-wide shotgun house over in the 7th Ward. What happened when they closed the port? He sat on the step every day.
Right.
And they closed the port, and they went to mechanical, to the big boxes, and drove down the prices because we started to import most stuff from China and other places as opposed to shipping out grain and bringing in raw products of manufacture of ships. So those jobs left. And then the 9th Ward went from a nice middle-class place that I remember it was when I was 12 years
Same
old.
here. I lived there. Mm-hmm.
With a restaurant, cafe,
Absolutely.
car bar, barbershop.
Yep.
It was an
All of
ecosystem into itself. When that port changed, and just somebody said, well, we're going to go to a tourist economy. So we get some kind of World Fair thing come through here.
Right.
We put
84.
the tall hotel up with the turning tile. They said we're going to put the Superdome in, and we put the basketball arena. All that's supported by the state of Louisiana.
All right, General. So was this a good move on the part of the mayor and the city council members to say drop the charges? And how do we move this forward? You said stop looking in the rearview mirror and move forward, but how are we going to get them to proceed?
I think, again, both sides need to watch the rapid response.
Okay.
That's not helping us. We're on the same team. We're in the same state. You with me? When I stayed in the hotel in New Orleans, my last bill I saw, the tax, $34 went to the state, $14 went to the city.
Right.
I went to Lake Charles, my hotel bill, $8 went to the city of Lake Charles, $5 went to the state.
I got you.
So what's going on there?
Right.
So New Orleans has a big economic impact. We're a tourist destination. You can't recreate this anywhere else in the state. I think the two of them need to come together, sit down, and get off of social media with the one-liners, because you might be winning some favor inside your base, but the state don't need that. There are a lot of people want to go to work tomorrow at a hotel or at a restaurant or play music, and they made people say, oh, there's a squabble going on in Louisiana. I don't think I'm going on it. All people need is an excuse.
Absolutely.
Because they got other options. So they need to cut it out. And if it happened 100 years ago or 25 years ago, we wouldn't know about it.
That's right.
All right. This is WBOK 1230 AM. Thank you so much, General. Appreciate your time. WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Missed a show? Want to hear that guest everyone's talking about? WBOK is now streaming on all your favorite podcast apps. Just search WBOK Media, hit download, share with a friend, and don't forget to rate your favorite shows 5 stars, because when our voices are heard, our impact grows.
Life has a way of shifting priorities, changing needs, and pivoting plans. Home Bank is there for all of them. Their bankers partner with you for every step along the way, from understanding your needs to celebrating your success. Home Bank is invested in the vibrant spirit of our community and in you. So partner with them. Stop on by any banking center in the greater New Orleans area or visit home24bank.com to get started today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, a member of the FDIC.
This is Andronica Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called, and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing, and now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-311-5977. That's 800-311-5977. 800-311-5977.
WBOK New Orleans, home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Colorado has recorded 64 earthquakes so far this year, most of them in the southern part of the state. Seismologist Paul Earle says,
historically, it is a seismically active area. I think it's the Rio Grande Rift that cuts through there and is a source of faults in the area.
But the activity isn't just tied to natural fault lines. Human activity can also play a role in triggering some of the region's quakes. Baltimore police are investigating a possible hate crime after racist flyers linked to a Ku Klux Klan group were found in Fells Point. Authorities say the materials were discovered alongside bags of rocks, and detectives are working to identify those responsible. And former NFL star Le'Veon Bell was arrested in Ohio on a Michigan warrant tied to unpaid child support. Bell's attorney says the payments were based on his former NFL salary and no longer reflect his current income. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton here with Tammy C.
Good morning.
It is 8:06 a.m. Good conversation with the General.
I love the General. He always has something good to say.
You know, I mean, it's he's one of those guys that's like, come in and sit down and let's just talk.
Let's talk.
We don't even have to have an agenda. Let's talk. Hear what's on your mind. Learn something each time I listen to him. Sometimes he repeats some things, and it's like, now, see, I don't think I've heard him say it that way.
That way, right.
You know, and it was good. And good to hear the update on the Honorary Center.
So I loved working with them, yes.
Thank you for bringing that up. It's such a special program. And, you know, sometimes, you know, we see all these other things in the news about education and all, but so often overlook programs like this that are really doing good work. Small numbers. But good work with the small number of students that's there, and that makes a difference. Well, we talked about the ongoing drama between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, and we, of course, have a number of news reporters who've been on the story, but one of those reporters who has been on it day and night, each day, has been Sosie Kasakov, who is my colleague, City and City Hall reporter at the Times-Picayune, NOLA.com. And she was reporting this story last night with Mayor Helena Moreno and the New Orleans City Council members asking the special prosecutor to drop the charges against the Attorney General. Good morning, Sophie. You're on with Will Sutton and Tammy C. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How about you?
Fabulous, fabulous. Well, you've been covering this story, as have others, but were you expecting this development yesterday?
Everything's happening pretty fast these days. I don't know what any of us are expecting at this point, but yeah, it definitely, you know, things have been heating up for weeks now, and there's been so much back and forth. I mean, the General just referred to it, obviously, of lots of, you know, social media posts back and forth. There's been some funding cuts, you know, not directly related that anyone has said, but, you know, this has sort of all been brewing over the last several weeks, these tensions between the state and the city. So, you know, I think it has been clear, you know, that something would need to change at some point, that there's some sort of, you know, breaking point perhaps, and I'm not sure if this is it, but certainly, you know, the mayor and the city council asking the special prosecutor in the indictment of Attorney General Liz Murrill, you know, this is something that we could see, you know, lead to some sort of change here in the sort of status quo that we've been seeing in the last few weeks.
So if I'm reading your story correctly, one of the key next steps is the special prosecutor, Lori White, making a decision or set of decisions. Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course, I reached out to her for comment yesterday following the public letters from the mayor, the city council, and the district attorney also sent a separate letter, which was less strongly or directly worded, I would say, than the mayor or council's letters. but also sort of called on the prosecutor to, have some caution in this case. And she did not respond to requests for comment yesterday. So, we'll see if she makes any public statement on this today.
Well, of course, this has been an unusual situation. Lots of us, including the mayor, said we were surprised that a grand jury could do this on their own. So we're in uncharted territory, to use the cliche, about what happens along these lines. But is it, based on your reporting, is it your understanding that Lori White is the only person to make a decision about proceeding with the case or not?
That is what the mayor and the council said in their letters. Honestly, I think that's something for us to follow up on today. This all unfolded yesterday at, pretty close to our print deadline. So, I think we can do a bit more digging today on sort of what this would actually look like for the prosecutor to make this decision, if there's any potential complications there. But that is, the mayor and the council were very clear in their letter that they said that the special prosecutor has the authority to do this, and sort of her alone has the authority to do this.
Is there a scenario where the special prosecutor would say, no, thank you, and I'm going to proceed with this case?
Sure. I mean, it sounds like she has the ability to do that. Even if she does do that, I think it's still possible that we could see this come to a close. The Attorney General, has certainly been making moves towards asking a judge to quash the case. The Louisiana Supreme Court came out quickly after the initial indictment and issued a stay order in the case. So the prosecution of the charges have been paused since the day after, I believe, the indictment. So, it certainly would seem that if they ask a judge to quash the case, they might have some success there. So, it's not asking the special prosecutor to dismiss the charges isn't the only way that this could go away, but it's sort of the immediate one before us right now.
Well, I realize the story is developing more today because it just broke last night. But based on what you've heard so far, and I heard you've got more reporting to do today. Are people looking at this as the city backing down from the fight with the governor and the attorney general? Or are they looking at this as an attorney general and or governor win? Or is this the city doing more than extending an olive branch to find another way out? How is this being looked at this point? And obviously some people are waking up this morning just finding out about this. But what's your sense of how people are looking at this, whether in city government or business community or otherwise?
Right. Well, yeah, we have more reporting to do today. I mean, I think it's really important to point out that the mayor and council have been very clear this whole time that they did not know about the indictment before the grand jury went ahead with it. They said that they didn't know that this was something a grand jury could independently pursue. So in that sense, it's not really been the mayor and city council's fight, themselves. Of course, everyone has now gotten embroiled in this, and there's been lots of back and forth between the mayor and the governor in the last few weeks. I do think that it remains to be seen whether the mayor and council issuing this letter will have an impact in any particular direction. I think there's, lots of tensions that have been, for many years now, sort of building and growing in different ways, between the city and the state government. So, one letter certainly won't make everything, sort of the kumbaya. But I do think that, this could be something that the state, sees as the city intervening in the situation and sort of saying, we want to move past this. It's the clearest, certainly, statement that any local official has made to that effect during this whole back and forth.
So meanwhile, the Attorney General has continued making her moves dealing with this case, and the special prosecutor called on the Attorney General's Executive Council earlier to talk about the grand jury and the process and all. Does that go away, or would they be likely to continue this if the charges are dropped? I mean, how, are those intertwined?
That's a great question. My colleague, John Zimmerman, our colleague, has been covering the back and forth from Liz Murrell's office, Attorney General Murrell's office, with the Orleans Parish DA's office. They issued subpoenas to the DA's office and to the special prosecutor. I'm not sure what exactly would happen, to be honest, with that subpoena, with those subpoenas, if the case is dismissed. Obviously, it would, sort of take a lot of the immediate sort of intense pressure off of the situation for the Attorney General. I mean, right now she's facing, numerous charges, and of course, that has heightened the pressure and tension and immediacy. So I'm sure some of that would certainly be reduced, even if, I'm not. But to be honest, I'm not sure exactly what the process would be, in terms of the subpoenas and legal back and forth, if these charges are dismissed.
Well, I know you got some reporting to do and have more to do than talk with us this morning. Appreciate you making some time. But give us some broader context about the city's finances, because one of the things that the mayor and the others cited in their letters is that this is having a impact on the city moving forward with projects that need to be supported financially. So give us a little summary about kind of where the city stands financially and whether this is having an impact or not.
Definitely. I mean, that was one of the sort of big, I think, points in the letter, and, it wasn't laid out sort of entirely clearly what all has happened, but I think we all know from following the events of the last few weeks that the city has really taken a financial hit from this, the sort of fallout from the indictment. Before the indictment, even the governor vetoed $33 million in state funding that lawmakers had intended for the city. So that was, programs for infrastructure, for, looking into building a new city hall, which has been a priority of, multiple mayors now. There were support for organizations that work on homelessness and, many things that are of priority to the mayor's administration. So, those were cuts that we saw within the last several weeks. And then the sort of immediate post-indictment impact was that the mayor had intended, as had been discussed for many months as part of the city's plan to, get out of this budget deficit that we've seen. The city had planned to make a request to the State Bond Commission to approve a $110 million bond sale. This has become a sort of very political situation in a way that, might not have been anticipated. So she withdrew that request because she became aware that the state politicians who sit on that board were, planning to deny that. So that is, a big sort of budget hole that the city is now back in that they need to, figure out how to get out of.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We'll be looking for your additional reporting. If people want to be in touch with you, where can they find you? How can they touch base with you?
Yeah, anyone can email me. That's sophie.kasakove@theadvocate.com, and of course, NOLA.com and all of our social media.
All right, very good. Thank you so much, Sophie. Lord's blessings. Have a fabulous day. All right, Tammy C. Got another little update about what's going on.
Yes.
Can't wait to see what the special prosecutor is going to do. And
she has some decisions to make.
Yeah, and perhaps we'll have a response or something from the governor or attorney general. We'll say something today, or maybe they'll just wait to see what the special prosecutor does.
Maybe.
Think they can hold their heels and hold their tongue until that happens?
No.
All right, it's 8:21 a.m. and after the break, man, oh man, Inspired NOLA, we've got Brother Jamar McNeely, CEO, coming in here. We got another school year coming. Yes, it's still summer. It's still summer, but school year is coming up, and Jamar McNeely is going to come in here and tell us about some of the exciting things that are coming up for Inspired NOLA. One of them is, something that they do each year. Another one is something they do, but with a big twist. So that's coming up right after the break. What's that talk line number, Tammy C?
It's 504-582-9422. Give us a call.
This is WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about
all day long.
Cubel, and here are your Wednesday morning headlines. All eyes this morning are on the tropics as we brace for the arrival of Tropical Storm Bertha. The storm is expected to make landfall sometime today, which means that we could be getting some heavy wind and rain as it passes through. So today, Governor Jeff Landry will discuss Tropical Storm Bertha at a news conference. It is happening at the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness in Baton Rouge at 2 p.m. It comes as GOSEP begins 24-hour operations in the State Emergency Operations Center. GOSEP says it has begun coordination calls with parish emergency directors and is ready to respond. Meantime, several New Orleans schools are transitioning to remote learning today. That includes Southern University New Orleans, LSU New Orleans, and Loyola University. And that is a look for you at your Wednesday
New Orleans,
morning.
are you ready for a voice that says what you're thinking? Who that, you might ask? Arrington Gavin. That's right, I'm your guy, host of the Arrington Gavin Show, giving you so much filled with bold opinions, real conversations, and zero sugarcoating. We're going to be diving into the issues that matter, politics, pop culture, and all the above, unfiltered and unafraid. Catch the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Fridays, right here on WBOK, What New Orleans is talking about.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
When it comes to family planning, should you go with a will or a trust?
A will is like leaving instructions to the court. It tells them who gets what, but your family still has to go through a succession, which can be costly and time-consuming.
A trust, on the other hand, avoids court altogether. So when the time comes, everything transfers smoothly to your loved ones.
It's a little more work up front, but way less hassle and expense later. Plan smart, save time, and take care of your family.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Did you hear the news? Dr. Clark's 101 The Living Classroom has a new time. Catch us now every Wednesday at noon. Same program, same great conversations. Just a new time. So catch Dr. Clark's 101 The Living Classroom this Wednesday and every Wednesday only on WBOK. What New Orleans is talking about.
Good morning. Wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton. I am thankful that I am blessed to be with you, our WBOK family of listeners, and quite blessed to be with my longtime friend, Tammy C.
Good morning, everybody.
As I told people yesterday, she might be Tammy Barney these days, but I knew her since a different name.
Yes.
Before all that.
Before all of that
Before
stuff.
you found that man.
Yes.
All right. Well, as promised, before the break, we are jumping into conversation with Jamar McNeely, Chief Executive Officer of Inspire NOLA. Been out there doing a good job for the last several years and continue to do incredible work. Twists and turns always.
Thank you.
For the positive. And he brought along somebody else, Ms. Jamia Washington. Welcome to WBOK. Welcome back to WBOK.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well, it's still summertime.
Well, not really for us. Actually, we're back in teacher training, but for the students,
for the students,
few days left.
More days.
Yes.
And that's part of why you're here, because you got something coming up on July 25th. But before we talk about that, let's talk about how you see the end of last year and your prep for this year. How things going?
Well, I think last year we finished strong. Our staff, our leadership, as well as our students actually performed once again for the city of New Orleans and for themselves, most importantly. That I feel hopeful that if we bring back some of the same practices, we bring back some of the same strategies, that we can have another successful year. I think the most important thing for me always is when I see those seniors like Jamia graduate, and I see them walk across the stage, and she was actually the valedictorian at McMain, and I see them walk across the stage, and she's getting ready to go off to the University of Texas, and that brings me even more joy of the hard work that we actually are trying to do and the transformational change that we're bringing in our city.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, that excites me as the son of a couple of educators.
Yes, sir.
Been around education for a long time. I love to see the success, because I know there's so much work that goes into bringing about the success.
And I tell you this
All
too,
that
I got
other work.
I got to
that
make
people
you
see.
laugh too. I think it was even we had two pivotal moments, and I make you laugh on this. Not only a state championship, but as well as graduation.
Just remember that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Point that out.
Y'all beat my school.
Hey, I had to say that for you. I had to say that for you. But it was just something. Great year for the community. Great year for students. Great year for faculty and staff. We're doing some very hard work for the youth of New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. All right. So coming up on July 25th, backpack drive and giveaway. Of course, there are a lot of these.
Correct.
But y'all do something special.
We do. It's a free drive, number one, where we're giving back to our community. Not only are we giving back computers, gas cards, book sacks, school supplies, you name it. We're making a heavy contribution back to the city of New Orleans and inspiring all the students to understand that we need our students ready on day one. We need our students prepared with the materials ready to be the next future leaders. And we have a keen understanding that a lot of our families have some needs, or that a lot of our families might not during these times be able to supply those needs. And we don't want our students to be without. So we make a worthy purchase for a worthy cause to make sure our students are ready to go day one.
Good.
And it's open to everybody. This is not just Inspire NOLA students. This is citywide at McDonald 35.
Yeah, my alma mater. Now we're talking.
All right. So, Jamia, congratulations on graduation.
Thank you.
That's a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
And UT, huh?
Yeah, Longhorns.
All right. Well, is this your first time in the WBOK?
Yeah.
All right. So, when Mr. McNeely has been here before, so we don't have to do all the introduction. So periodically, we might have to remind people who he is, that kind of thing. But since this is your first time, we want to make sure people know who you are. So, who your mama and them? Come on, sister.
Well, my grandmother was a cook for, I think, the country club across the river, so I'm really a West Bank baby.
Mm-hmm.
I came to Inspire NOLA for my high school year, so basically 9th grade. I went to International School of Louisiana, so I'm bilingual.
Okay.
Learned Spanish. When I came to Inspire, well, McMain specifically, ended up getting a business and sales certification. Became president of student leadership. Went on a bunch of trips with him. I still got to deal with him to this day, even after graduating. Finished with $3.4 million in scholarships.
Whoa,
Made sure I had a 4.2 GPA before I ended.
I have dual enrollment credits. Like, I have the whole 9 yards before I go out to Texas, which is really like a blessing because I wouldn't have been able to do it without him. Like, it starts with him. So, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, congratulations on all of your success.
Mhm.
And let me just say that there are a lot of students that are in high school, and I'm thankful that they get to the point of graduation.
Mhm.
But when I see young folks like you who achieve above and beyond, it does my heart some special warmth because I know that's what you're going to take into your life. And you're too young to realize it now. But the things that you are doing now serve as a foundation for so much that is going to come. And I know that's part of what you're after, is lifting as many of those inspired students up as you can.
Not even 18 yet.
Right.
I did this all before 18.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So I think it's our mission, and I think it's for me, it's bigger than a mission for me. I think it's my spiritual healing that I'm allowed to work with the youth of New Orleans, that I'm allowed to work with some exceptional staff and pour into them in many different aspects of development. Our staff and our leadership, and I cannot thank them enough for working extremely hard. Just this past week in our training, we talked about a rowboat, and we talked about how it's important that all of us pull our own weight when it comes to developing our youth and working with our youth. And not just from a development standpoint, but inspiring them, because a lot of them are already coming with the gifts. It's just for us to help them craft their beliefs on what they can actually accomplish and propel them forward with some support. So I'm thankful for students like the person that's sitting next to me, exceptional students, always on our panels, always are put in unique situations to not only develop even more skills, because I know she's going to be an exceptional attorney when she graduates from college, because I know that's probably where she's going to go, or even just in our community if we can get her back to New Orleans. But it's just important to have individuals like her leading the next generation of great scholars.
And so that brings me to my question. I had a question for Jamia. Why Texas, and what your major is going to be? I think you hinted at it a little bit.
Okay, for why Texas, it was more like I really want to challenge myself with something different. Because me and my cousin, we're the only ones that have actually gone out, especially my niece as well. She went to the National Guard, so she's in Oklahoma. My cousin, she ended up going to Ole Miss, being the third in her class for psychology, if I'm not mistaken. And now it was more like, oh, let's go to Texas for political science. Literally the capital of, Austin, well, Texas in general is right there in Austin. I can get hands-on just experience and kind of motivate myself to actually be out of my comfort zone. And he asked me, he was like, well, why you not just going to stay? I could get you a scholarship anywhere down here. I was like, I don't want it down here. I want to actually try and give myself that push in order to create myself. Like, I've already created a good version of myself here, but I was like, just think about what I could be out there. Just think about what I could be more for, the world in general. So that was just really like, I want to do something different. My mom was like, if you want to do it, do it. So, I got it covered. I made sure I was more prepared. I went to the orientation. I became accustomed to taking such a deep turn and, transitioning for college. So
I love that. Yes, get out of your comfort zone. That's always good. But
It is a major loss for us, though.
yeah, I was gonna say, but you gotta come back.
Oh, I'm gonna come back, but just really developing a career is how I want to do it in Texas. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna settle, but I was like, I cannot pass that up. I cannot pass it up at all. So.
Understandable.
Well, that's a huge university. I mean, we're talking about more than 50,000 students. I mean, you're talking about larger than some municipalities and
Yes, sir.
quite a number of parishes
Yes, sir.
in the state of Louisiana. So, but I have no doubt that they're gonna know who you are.
I can definitely agree to that. This is a student who would definitely get involved in many different aspects. Her advocacy is definitely on a superior level when it comes to advocating for causes and advocating for rights. So this will not be the last that we hear of her as far as fighting for the good cause.
Well, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So do you anticipate doing some of the types of things that you've done with leadership and programming in high school at the college level, or are you looking to move into other areas with your beyond your coursework?
I think I'll still do the same thing. Maybe for my freshman year, I still want to kind of get accustomed to college. Let the first year kind of, roll out or play out. And then hopefully for my sophomore year, I can be introduced to student government. Since I am in a political major, they're already going to put me in those type of rooms. So it's more of like, be real quiet about it, but like I know what I have to offer. Like I know what I'm going to end up doing for them, especially for the Capitol. Hopefully I can get some sort of connection to intern with them, especially over the summer, because I may not come back for the summer. May not, But I really do want to continue doing the things that I do for him. Like it flows so naturally. That's why he called me,
Right.
So I wouldn't mind it.
Now, how many times have you been to the UT campus, and how many times you've been to Austin at this point?
3.
What'd you think?
Why do you think I'm going? Like, I love this so much. Like, I connected so much with the people in my major because we kind of clicked. I think I had people from psychology and political science. And so we were all just like hanging out. And they were just like, wait, where are we going to live? And then I ended up finding my roommates with them. So it was like,
You already know your roommate.
yes, I clicked so fast with them, and it only took like 2 days. And it was actually such a breeze too, because they have so much support. Like every major has their own support system, and they had us help with scheduling the classes. How can we get more financial aid? What other resources do they have before we get onto campus? And I already decided that I was gonna move before classes start or before anyone else moved out there, so that way I could still like learn the city or be more accustomed to being in the city. Because I mean, it's Texas. It's Texas.
Okay. You love New Orleans.
Yes, of course.
What do you like about New Orleans?
The culture.
The
culture.
And the
yes.
development.
And the development.
Like Mr. McNeely has taught me so much about it, and I think that's more why I am so I'm so accustomed or very, very ready to kind of help him. Like, I don't say no to him at all. Like, I jump on any offer he gives me. It's like knowing that I'm taking part in developing our community. That's just what I like. Like, school and education is such a big part of New Orleans. And that's what I mean by culture. It's the development of getting kids out of their comfort zone or not letting them sit in one space. Like, New Orleans is amazing for development, but there's so much more outside of New Orleans that they can become. And that's kind of why I do what I do.
Well, I know people on faculty and staff at University of Texas at Austin. Okay. I have relatives in Austin. I've been to Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't a whole lot of black people in Austin, fewer than 10%. Probably like 6 or 7 in the entire city. And at UT Austin, it's probably like 3 to 5% in the student body.
Mm-hmm.
So I point that out because you wanted to expand your horizon, but that's going to be a significant cultural change. But there are black folks and other folks that you'll need to develop as a part of your new village.
Mm-hmm.
They're there.
Mm-hmm.
They might not be as easy to find, but University of Texas at Austin has had a really rich history of bringing affinity groups together. So I just want to make sure you understand that with all of the national politics and policies, some of those folks are dispersed on campus and in the community now. So it's not as easy as going to the Office of Diversity this or Equality that, and that kind of thing. But some of those folks exist. So depending on if I get to know you better, you might want to meet my nephew, Dr. Ryan Sutton, who's been affiliated with UT Austin.
Sounds great.
And my niece, Bonnie, who's a teacher in Austin.
Awesome.
Who have 3 little girls who perhaps you could be a good role model for in Austin. and they have good family that they have developed, because our family is more over here and in San Antonio and elsewhere. But I just point that out to you as a young person, that one of the things that has helped me grow up is being around other people.
Our community.
Yes.
Being around other people. And I just wrote a piece about Nolan Wells that's in the paper today.
Yes.
I am black and proud, but my parents taught me to appreciate other folks. And so I've been kind of the Nolan Wells, where you're the only one in the room, the only one in the space. But you have to be strong and know who you are. And I feel like you know who you are. But it's going to be a challenge, especially in an environment like that. But I think you're ready for it.
I think
I'm
she's
not
ready.
scared at all.
I think you're ready for it.
I think she's ready.
I think you're ready for it. I think you're ready for it. So let's talk again about the backpack, because this is the part about getting kids ready. And then another big, interesting project that you got coming up. So a little bit more about the backpack giveaway.
You know, once again, this is a series of events that we're doing to inspire the city, and we even have something in September that we're actually doing that I know you'll be favorable of, especially from the high school that you went to and graduated from. But it's a series of events. We have the Back to School Rally this Saturday. Normally there's a long line, so we're asking for our community to be patient. We normally we have a start time at 10 o'clock, but we normally start at 9:30 just based on the need. Have everything that you can ask for, from computers, gas cards, book sacks, school supply, giveaways, everything to have our kids ready in day one. So just to talk a little bit about the series. So that happens on July 25th. Then our students start on August 3rd, which is a week later. Then August 7th, we have our Inspire NOLA Back to School Rally, where we motivate students to actually be excited about learning, be excited about giving back to our community. And then even giving more information, in September, we have our Inspire the City Invitational, which is a large game in the Superdome this year.
Oh, wow.
That will have Edna Carr High School play Ruston, St. Augustine play East Ascension, in a doubleheader football game to not only relive the spirit, but the excitement that was in the championship game. So
right. Just pause there. I just want to help people understand, because I'm a native of Louisiana.
Yes.
Native of New Orleans. But I've lived other places, several different cities, states, regions, including northern Louisiana. So let me help y'all understand Ruston High.
Ruston High.
This school is an athletic machine.
Yes, number 4 in the state next year.
This
football
is an athletic machine. You go to their games and people are all over the place. People wearing their big R's. The athletes, some of them look like college athletes, and they're sophomores. These are big guys, and they have a game plan after game plan. I mean, it's a tremendous school, and they do well academically.
Yes, sir.
So I just want to make sure that little piece of information is out there, because they're more familiar with Carr, St. Aug, 35, some other schools. But for that team to be coming here.
But even more, like going back to the giveaway, wonderful opportunity, giving back to our community, doing something special. Then the rally, I never thought, and this goes back to how this thing works together. Jamia has been on the platform, on the stage for us numerous times, interviewing special guests to come in town to give some inspiration to our students. And last summer, we asked them, talk to us about speakers that you would like to have come talk to you to motivate you. Mm-hmm. And one of the individuals they mentioned was Kamala Harris, the 49th Vice President. And we never thought that we would be in a position to actually have the 49th Vice President come be one of the keynote speakers for our Back to School Rally.
That's exciting.
How faith happens and how purpose happens, our belief that now we're able to announce that it's going to take place August 7th. 49th Vice President as the keynote speaker, Ms. Kamala Harris, with other city officials. And then you transform to September, where you have the classic, where you have 2 exceptional schools, very exceptional, and this was important for us, young black men playing in the Superdome, not just in the championship game, but in the regular season. So the visual of that, the impact of the series of events, back to back to back, is very influential just for students like Jamia, who will be here on the 7th, actually interviewing the vice president on stage.
What?
But
Ring your bell again.
carrying on the legacy of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to build. So we definitely need our community to come out and support. We need our community to come out and support these young men in September because it's exceptional work that they're doing. Not only do you have the number 1 team in the state, which is Card, you have the number 3 team in the state, St. Augustine, and the number 4 team, Ruston, all coming to New Orleans to not only from a standpoint of play football athletically, but be an inspiration to our city. So it's just bigger than football. It's bigger than what we're trying to accomplish, and it's a focused mission to bring faith and inspiration to our youth.
That's incredible.
Thank you, sir.
I mean, that's
Very
incredible. All right, so
I'm excited.
Without doing any deep research, the vice president gets invited to speak at a lot of places.
A lot of places.
And these are corporate events.
Yes.
These are universities for commencement speeches.
Yes.
These are Democratic Party gatherings and fundraisers for thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I don't recall her going to speak to any public education group.
You know, when you were saying that, I was actually thinking the same thing. Just imagine she's coming to, first of all, New Orleans students.
Yes.
Public school students in New Orleans. I don't know the last time we had this opportunity. I don't know the last time our students had this experience. And now not only the 49th vice president, the mayor, the congressman, the former congressman, I mean, you name it, will be in attendance to rally for our students and support our students. So the visual of our students being able to receive that, to know what they can transcend to become, to be in a room that's created just for them, is extremely impactful and important for our city. That I think our city has to take a second and just think about what's happening and what we're trying to accomplish.
And so I want to give you just a little personal context because I'm older than everybody in the room.
Yeah, you are.
I would just say wise. I won't say age wise.
Well, I like to tell people I'm chronologically gifted.
Got it.
So I've seen a lot of commencements. I've seen a lot of graduations. I've seen a lot of convocations. I've seen a lot of speeches, and so many of them good. There's some that was like, I could have done without this.
Yes, sir.
But the one that I remember most was when I was 10 years old.
Wow.
And the reason is because my dad graduated from Howard University with a doctorate.
Mm.
And so there was my mama with us 6 little ones, stair-step kids, and my mama standing on the chair, yelping for her man. But the commencement speaker was none other than President Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Wow.
Wow.
President of the United States.
Wow.
I've seen many other important people, but it stuck with me that I saw and heard the President of the United States.
Yes, sir.
As a kid. So I can imagine that this is going to be an extra special day that these students will remember for a long time.
Well, not only from the and I was reading up on it yesterday, the highest ranking official that has been from an African-American woman.
Yes.
The 49th vice president. Mm-hmm. That they actually not only will see the visual of her, they will hear from her, who went to a HBCU,
yep.
Howard University,
a
part of the D9, that I just think that it's important that our city take in this moment for our youth. They embrace our youth. Like, I can just imagine our students. And this is why it's revealing. Like you're saying, speaking at corporate events, speaking at universities, speaking at high-end dollar functions. And now we're busing students to this event. Think about that, right? A free event for them, that our students in New Orleans would be on a yellow bus, peer students, to go to this event, to see the 49th vice president give an inspirational message to students that look like them, students that look like her, right? So I just think for myself and for our team, when we think about this and we try to create these moments, because that's what this is. This will be a moment. We already hearing from families who would like to come, so we're trying to work that out. We have restrictions just based on
Absolutely.
the threats, everything that's there, that we have to make sure that everyone is protected, that we're working with a lot of different individuals to make sure this is a secure event. But just the visual, the imagery of one person coming in with Secret Service, individuals coming in cars, and our students coming on buses.
I love it.
Right? It just says what we can become, that we can be greater than who we are. We can be better than who we are.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And it's an inspiration that can carry into the academic year, because you can see a woman of great success and be motivated to be successful. It's not good enough for me to just go to class.
Even more than just
Not good enough for me to just go to class.
You know, we talk about this a lot. The standard of excellence is just what we're supposed to do. So more than just the academic success, we wanted to carry over into their community, into their homes, that they understand that they can aspire to be more.
Yes.
So even if they're not given the motivation, or even if they're not given the grace, we're giving them these moments to be reflective of who they can become. If we can get them to become more, the academics will work itself out for itself.
All right, Jamia. So what's your timetable for the next several weeks? So you're transitioning from high school to college. You've already identified your roommates. Sure, y'all got, what do you call it, little, group me kind of thing and all that kind of stuff. You got that going on, I'm sure. Do you know what their majors are?
Yeah, they're mostly political science and psychology.
Okay, all right. And so what's your timetable with what you're doing between now and the first day of class? I understand you're going to participate in some of these wonderful events here. How are you going to juggle that with getting ready for school?
I don't even know yet, because like I said, I just be saying yes to him. Like, I haven't even touched a grain of sand yet. Like, I've just been working and really preparing myself, because I don't really ask anybody for anything. I just kind of, jump on it. But from now until then, it's mostly working and preparing for, Kamala. First of all, wait, I really just want to say this because it really made me so excited. I know. He came to McMain and he was like, so who do y'all want to see? Me and my vice president of student leadership was like, Mamala. Like, we don't want anybody else for real. Like, we want Kamala. And that was like probably around when she released her book. And I was just like, that would be crazy. And then that wasn't a thought in my head again.
You didn't think it would be real.
Yeah, and then when he told me that, I said, whoa, like, well, first of all, he didn't even, like, tell us. He posted it on Instagram before he told anybody. Yeah, anyways.
Oh, and it blew up.
Yeah. But, yeah, and until then, like, I'm really grateful that I'm going to be able to see her before I leave. I don't leave until the 15th, and, it's on the 7th.
I just see her. You're on stage with her. So she's actually...
And
she's one of the individuals who will be actually interviewing the former vice president. So it's a huge moment, not only for her,
I was
but empowering even more, right? I just thought the visual of our female students interviewing the 49th vice president, it empowers the young ladies even more that's in the audience. So strategic-wise, it makes sense for us. We'll have other opportunities for the other genders that's in attendance, but just a very pivotal moment.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask Jamia one question. So what's one thing that you want to ask Vice President Harris?
I've been thinking about this too. Because I'm thinking I wasn't going to have to say much to her until he told me I'd be the only student on the stage with her. I don't know. And
well, you got some time to...
Yeah, you have a little time.
I know what it is, but because you kind of have to use discretion with somebody that powerful, it's not necessarily like I don't know what to say, but it's like, how am I supposed to say it? And it's really like, I want to ask her, what does it feel like having so much weight in this current moment? Like, I know she probably gets so many questions about how did she grow up or what made her, choose this career, but like, knowing that she's like the people's champion, the Black community's champion, like I really want to center around how much that means to her. because I think she's always so used to representing that she doesn't get to necessarily say how she feels representing, how she feels having such responsibilities. And I also think that would kind of trigger some of our students to think more cooperatively about how pivotal that moment is. Because I've heard a lot of seniors in my class say, we never got to have that. We won't be able to get to experience something like that. So we have to take that literally with a grain of salt and like run with it. And so that one question, if I'm even privileged enough to ask her that, that really would be my question. Like, how do you feel changing a generation to become such a support system for you?
I love that. That's a great question. Can't wait to hear her answer.
Absolutely. So we got a couple of experienced interviewers here. And I just saw this on social media just yesterday. And somebody used an example of somebody interviewing someone and asking a question versus a journalist asking a question. And I know you want to be a lawyer, but and the first example was them talking and talking and talking and talking and asking a question and talking and then asking a question and talking and not giving the person an opportunity to answer the question.
That's one of my pet peeves.
And the second example was, here's the question, tell me about it. Much simpler, but then you have to listen. Don't forget that you asked a question, but are you listening to what the person has to say? Because that makes all the difference. Because you can ask people a question, and they start talking, and you're dazed out, and then you have lost them. You've lost their respect because they realize you're not even listening to what they have to say. So just keep that in mind. But I know you'll do a great job. And I'm happy to counsel and advise along the way, since I won't be in your seat. But I'm very proud of you and happy for you for this UT opportunity.
Thank you. Not my first rodeo with him in interviewing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yep. So, and very excited for you and excited for you.
Thanks, sir.
Inspire NOLA Schools getting the vice president into New Orleans is exciting. One more time about the backpack so that people can know about that.
Backpack giveaway this Saturday. McDonough 35 High School, 4,000 Run Eagle Way, starting for 10 a.m., but we'll probably start at 9:30, giving away free backpacks, limited Chromebooks, limited gas cards, school supplies, vouchers for uniforms, and much more. So definitely come out, support a lot of individuals, and I cannot thank our partners enough who are partnering with this event. Very special event for our community. We're looking forward to seeing our youth.
All right, can mama show up without the kids and say, I got 3, I need 3?
Parents can't show up without the kids. We're going to try to make sure we can accommodate as much as possible when we can help, but we're definitely looking forward to seeing everyone.
All right, wonderful. All right, that's Saturday, folks. That's going to wrap it up for us on this edition of the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton, been here with Tammy C. Wonderful conversation about Inspire NOLA and Miss Jamia. Congratulations again. So excited. Up next is the front porch, and after that, we're going to have Tavis Smiley and, of course, the G-Man in the afternoon on the reality check. This is WBOK, 12:30 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.